So I just got off of work a little bit early today. We went in early to make sure we got our work done. And the reason I went into work early is because CzechRaiseCharles and Brad Owen are at the M8trix today. I reached out to Charles and asked him if I could swing by and say hi, and he said yes. So I'm very excited to meet both of these much more famous poker vloggers in person. Should be cool to hang out with them. They seem like really cool guys, and I'm really excited. So as usual, the list here is super long, but we called ahead, so we're 9th on the list. They got a few tables running, I think like 3 tables, so could be a while. Brad and Charles are at the deep stack game, so not gonna get in with them, but yeah, it'll be cool to hang out afterwards.
It's kind of cool about you, but she didn't know nothing. Now she swims right past his eyes, where she didn't know she didn't find nothing. You look so pretty.
We're in for the max 300, and in the first hand we get ace jack of hearts in the hijack. Under the gun +1 opens to 20. I call, cutoff calls, and small blind calls. So we're off to a flop. Flop comes jack of spades, 6 of hearts, and 3 of diamonds. Under the gun leads out for 60. I go ahead and call, so does the cutoff and the small blind. The turn is the king of clubs. This looks eerily similar to the hand we played at Table Mountain, and I'm pretty worried I'm up against king jack. Under the gun checks, I check, and the cutoff raises to $200. So big raise, 60 big blinds. The small blind folds, under the gun calls, and I go ahead and fold in this spot. I think if under the gun hadn't called, I'd go ahead and call this bet, but having him call after checking makes me think a king is pretty likely in his range, or we're chopping with another ace jack. I doubt he would call with a worse jack here, facing a bet of this size. So the river is a 7 of clubs. The under the gun player checks it to the player in the cutoff, who jams for 416 more. So it's a big jam. The under the gun player thinks these guys are both really deep, so he's playing for the full 416, and he goes ahead and calls. He shows pocket aces and the cutoff mucks. So he takes down a really big pot.
Like the gates of heaven are open now, and my one true love is just won't stop out. Yeah, there's one thing about me that you should know, that I can't help but speak in my mind. Girl, you waste your time on death's pretty boys all the time in the world.
About 3 hands later, we get 9s in the small blind. There is a straddle to 6. Everybody limps. I go ahead and complete my small blind. Big blind completes, and then the straddler goes ahead and raises it up to 45 off of a $300 stack. This is the player that just lost the hand versus the aces. So it folds around to me, and he's obviously tilted. He's steaming, he's moving around in his seat. He's very upset about losing that hand. He probably had ace king or something like that. So I go ahead and jam on him to put him in a really tough decision, because I think he is raising here with a very wide range. The big blind folds, and the straddler goes ahead and calls my about $250 jam. And we get a 9 on the river to hit a set. The next hand, we get ace jack of clubs, under the gun +2, and we open it up to 15. The cutoff, small blind, and big blind all call. The flop comes jack of hearts, 5 of clubs, 3 of diamonds. So we go ahead and continue for 45. Everybody folds and we take it down.
Yeah, you waste your time on death's pretty boys. Got no time to waste on another pretty face.
Next interesting hand, we have ace jack again. This time ace of diamonds, jack of clubs, and we're in middle position. Under the gun limps, we raise to 15, and the cutoff, small blind, and under the gun call. The flop comes king of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. The small blind and under the gun check. I go ahead and bet 25, the cutoff calls, and small blind and under the gun fold. The turn is the Queen of Diamonds, a great card for us. And we go ahead and check it to them. We're trying to rep King X with no diamond, and hopefully can get some value out of this player. He goes ahead and bets $25, which we call. The river is the 3 of hearts, and just reading this player, this is the same player that I stacked the 9s with, and that got stacked in the really big $1,000 plus pot. I think he's looking to call me. He was really upset about my 9s sucking out, so I think I can go for some really big value here. He's definitely tilting, and I'm trying to take advantage of him, so I go ahead and bet 150, trying to make it look like a bluff. The player tank folds, so unfortunately we don't get value from this, but I'm not super upset with my play. I think actually though, checking it to him and letting him try to bluff me off of the hand, check raising there, might have been a more profitable move. So we ended up cashing out for $640, a $340 profit. All in all, it was a really good night. Really fun to meet these guys, just as cool as they seem in their vlogs. So yeah. And that's basically it for me. I'm gonna sit here until these drinks wear off and then drive home and get some rest for the last day of the work week.